good-looking temperatures around Alberta today, and it's going to be warmer for the weekend.
Yeah, well, would you know that there's a winter storm warning out tonight?
No.
Yes,
for where?
There is for New Mexico, Colorado, and the northeastern United States. And parts of Hawaii have had 7 to 8 inches of rain. There are flurries in Atlantic Canada, cloud and overcast skies through southern Quebec into Ontario, and the prairies, bright sunshine and temperatures above normal, Bob, everywhere, and that's the way it's going to stay.
All right.
Across the nation today, the place to be was, and I've been saying this apparently incorrectly, Osoyoos, BC, at 11 degrees, 7 degrees in Vancouver and Victoria, and up in Yellowknife at -12 today with a little bit of snow flurry activity up that way. Not a bad day throughout most of the province, but we did get into a little bit of flurry activity in the Halifax region and in the Charlottetown area where the temperature was -3 today. In Edmonton at the moment, clear skies, temperature of 2, wind south 11, 69% is the humidity, the pressure 100.7 or 29.74, and pressure is steady. In the Calgary region, clear skies, 4 degrees, the wind southeast 19, 47%, 100.4 or 29.66 inches, and the pressure in the Calgary region is steady at this time of night. As we look to the satellite map, you can see that the prairies were in pretty good shape. Clear skies for the most part right through Alberta, Saskatchewan into Manitoba. The Arctic front didn't push back quite so far as we had anticipated, and Fort Chip was at -2 today, the only reporting station apparently that was in the minus values, but this is going to change a little bit. Over the province of British Columbia, we have highs at the surface, and we also have the system coming in off the coast, but it's expected to split, and some of it go up this way, some of it dig way down south in the States, so that we will stay pretty much in a westerly flow, and that, of course, will keep the warm coming. Tomorrow, the map should look something like this as we get that high pressure ridge at the surface, at least the high pressure at the surface, and above this at the surface there is an upper high, and that's a good strong unit that's going to keep things out of the way and push the front well back as more warm air comes in. However, as this low goes on past, circulation around there is going to push this front back into the province a little bit, into the northern regions, but not all that bad. We look for temperatures tomorrow, -3, -4 as daytime highs. And a system going by to the north will bring in a little more cloud to that region and maybe some snow flurry activity as well. Fog is going to be a problem in some of the areas around about, and we'll tell you more about that as we look to the specific situations. First, in southern Alberta, look for a few clouds tonight. Morning fog around the Calgary region, but basically sunny skies throughout the south on Friday. And in the mountains, sunny Friday in Jasper, clearing later in the day in Banff. Should be a good day in the mountains. In the central districts, morning fog around Edson, Edmonton, and St. Paul. But after that, burns off a nice sunny day. In northeastern Alberta, a chance of flurries tonight in Fort Chip. Mainly sunny, though, on Friday. Elsewhere, in northwestern Alberta, morning fog around the high-level region. Otherwise, again, mainly sunny skies. In the city of Calgary tonight, a few clouds, -9. Remember that morning fog could be a bit of a problem. Tomorrow, sunny and 6. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, lots of sunshine. Temperatures of 7 and 8 degrees. Edmonton tonight, a few clouds, a little cooler at -10. Tomorrow, morning fog and sunny ultimately in 4 degrees. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, lots more sunshine, and temperatures rising from 5 to 8 through Sunday and Monday. Well above normal, and for those who like it that way, should be a good weekend. Bob?
Thank you very much, Double L. Of course, sport usually follows weather, but tonight, Al Nagy was at the top of the program, being so excited about Kurt Browning's 3rd win in a row at the World Figure Skating Championship. So we'll go on with news now. Police have identified the victims of Canada's worst heli skiing accident. 9 people, an American, a Mexican, and 7 Europeans, died Monday in a massive avalanche in the Bugaboos just south of Golden, BC. The accident has prompted calls for tighter controls of the helicopter skiing industry. But as Des Kilfoyle tells us, that isn't likely to happen.
9 people died Monday, bringing the total of heli-skiing fatalities in the last decade to 26. The opposition in British Columbia says that's enough.
The government's just turning its back on this issue. It's cost 12 lives in the last year and more than that. And I think that the government ought not to sidestep its responsibility, but instead should have a good look at what's happening. It's had the advice, and there's nothing more to wait for.
Heli-skiing is illegal in national parks. It's considered too much of a commercial intrusion. And attempts to try it in other parts of Alberta have failed because of too much wind or not enough snow. So every year, hundreds of Alberta skiers risk death by avalanche in southeastern BC for the joy of deep, untouched powder. Heli-ski companies say they do a good job preventing avalanches and in other safety training procedures and don't need more government regulation. Besides, they say there have been just as many people killed in other high-risk sports like mountain climbing, which has little government regulation. The federal government says it has no jurisdiction over heli-skiing. The provincial government in British Columbia seems to agree with the industry.
Is a further expenditures of taxpayer dollars and a building of the bureaucracy going to save or prevent one accident?
So for now, at least, the high risk of heli-skiing will remain part of its thrill. Des Kilfoyle, CBC News, Calgary.
In international news now, one moment they were motorists driving on the street of Hiroshima, Japan. The next instant they were crushed by a giant steel beam that fell from a construction site. The beam, 200 feet long, it weighs 40 tons. It's part of a monorail construction project. At least 14 people were killed when it crashed to the street without warning. One distraught woman said she was driving with her daughter, and the next instant her daughter just simply wasn't there. On the other side of the Atlantic, 6 men who spent 17 years in jail for bombing 2 pubs in Birmingham, England, were freed by an appeal court today. The release prompted the British government to order a royal commission into how police and the courts are determining innocence or guilt. As the CBC's Claude Adams reports, it was a tumultuous scene as the 6 left the courthouse.
As the 6 Irishmen walked out of the Old Bailey, they were cheered by waiting crowds, embraced by wives and children. There was joy that justice had finally opened their cell doors. Mostly they seemed a little dazed by all the attention as onlookers reached out to touch them. But Patrick Hill, who lost a third of his life in jail, was outraged and unforgiving.
Justice! I don't think them people in there have got the intelligence nor the honesty to spell the word, never mind dispense it.
60 years! Innocent man in prison!
Even as the public outcry came, the government acted. In Parliament, Home Secretary Kenneth Baker promised a royal commission to look into the justice system. The freeing of the 6 is expected to weaken the case of British MPs who want to bring back capital punishment. If the death penalty were still in effect, the men released today might well be dead. Claude Adams, CBC News, London.
More on the sex scandals that have rocked the Canadian Catholic Church coming up. Stay with us.